Meru, Nyeri, Nairobi. It's been raining cats and dogs in Nairobi, and I'll tell you why in a couple of seconds or so. Now, the Kenya Meteorological Department today warned the Kenyans to expect heavy rainfall in several regions of the country, including Nairobi. In its advisory, the weatherman stated that rainfall was expected in various regions, including the Central Highlands, which encompass Nairobi County. Other regions that are expected to receive rainfall include Western Kenya, parts of Northwestern, Lake Victoria Basin, and the Rift Valley regions. The Kenya Met also revealed that sporadic showers were expected in Machakos and Kajiado counties. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is expected to experience generally dry, sunny weather conditions for the whole day. According to the weatherman, strong southeasterly winds over 25 knots were anticipated in the eastern half and northwestern region. The latest announcement by the Kenya Met comes a day after the department revealed that the rains were expected to subside in various parts of the country. So in Nairobi, we've experienced a lot of rain this evening, and I can tell you a lot of rain within the Eastlands Buruburu area, and I know parts of Mombasa Road have also experienced the rains. Would like to know where you're watching us from and whether you've experienced the same. Now, down to the political or some of the things that are happening within the region, as President William Ruto has revealed a mutual plan by Kenya and Uganda to extend the crude oil pipeline from Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County to Kampala in Uganda to facilitate trade ties between the two nations. During a joint media briefing at State House in Nairobi, President Ruto explained that the new pipeline would supply a neighboring country with its fuel needs and essentially resolve the protracted oil importation dispute. Kenya supplies over 90% of Uganda's fuel, while an average of 10% is sourced through Tanzania. Ruto lauded the Joint Ministerial Commission or JMC meeting that was held on Tuesday this week that paved the way for Uganda President Yoweri Museveni to visit the country. The two nations also signed an agreement paving the way for the Uganda National Oil Company import petroleum products through Mombasa Port.
So this integration is to fight the battle of prosperity. You should understand this. Because if somebody is efficiently producing something and we support him, he will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And another one from Uganda will also grow in something else. Another one from Tanzania. Through, they used to call it, I don't know whether they are still teaching it in the universities. It was called comparative advantages. It was being taught in the universities. I don't know whether they are still teaching it. Yeah. That we specialize according to comparative advantages. But they just talk about it in the classroom and it ends there. So this is number one. And that's why we support COMESA, which was a building block to the African continental market. But now, you can have economic prosperity, but you remain weak. When Hitler overran Europe, some of those countries were developed. Belgium, Denmark, even France was developed, but it was overrun by Hitler. So, apart from prosperity, there is the issue of strategic security. How can Africa be strategically secure? How can we be strategically secure?
Well, that's what the Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni had to say about the whole things. What did President William Ruto think about the whole idea?
We have also agreed that we will now explore jointly the extension of the pipeline from Eldoret to Kampala that will form the conversation in the next Joint Ministerial Committee in general. The meeting also emphasized the importance of extending, as I have said, the SGR from Naivasha to Malaba, but all the way to Kampala and DRC as an efficient and sustainable infrastructural artery for the transformation of goods. We have obliged our respective ministers to take joint urgent measures to mobilize resources for the implementation of this regional shared infrastructure and report on progress by the end of this year.
Well, if that is executed, then I believe that Kenya is going to really benefit as we open up the entire region all the way to the DRC. That will be a great thing to see with the SGR going all the way. You don't need to take buses, just pay and you go to DRC pretty fast. Anyway, talking about matters Africa, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has encountered a fresh hurdle after Seychelles announced a new candidate for the African Union Commission chairperson or AOC position. This happened at a time when Djibouti and Somalia also put forward their own candidates. In a statement from Seychelles Foreign Affairs Department, it was revealed that the East African country would endorse a gentleman called Vincent Marathon. Marathon had previously served as the country's vice president and foreign minister. A statement from Seychelles government read in part, the Affairs Department wishes to announce that the government of Seychelles has endorsed the candidature of Vincent Marathon for the position of chairperson of the African Union Commission AUC in the election scheduled to take place in February 2029. Seychelles remarked that Marathon was the best suited candidate as he had spent political career championing Seychelles' position on the blue economy on the international stage. Should he win the position, it was explained that he would improve the implementation rate of the Commission's executive decisions. This would be achieved through addressing barriers to implementation and promoting accountability and compliance. Raila Odinga was the first person to show interest for the position, which will fall vacant in February 2025. Immediately after Somalia nominated ex-Foreign Affairs Minister Fawzia Yusuf Adam to battle it out with Raila. Djibouti thereafter fronted their Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mahmoud Yusuf, for the same position. The seat is held on rotational basis, and it is the turn of the East African region to front a candidate to replace Musa Faki from Chad. Meanwhile, President William Ruto hailed Uganda for supporting the candidature of the ODM leader Raila Odinga.
Greater integration of our countries at the continental and international level. I appreciate with tremendous gratitude President Museveni's contribution and selfless dedication to building a robust East African community and transitioning it into a federation of shared vision and values. I have also expressed to His Excellency, the people and the government of Uganda, the appreciation of Kenyans from all walks of life for Uganda's endorsement of the Kenyan candidate for the position of Africa Union Commission chairperson, and assured him of our full confidence that our candidate will deliver effective leadership at the Commission.
Well, we definitely pray for our candidate Raila Odinga to win that position. I think he really deserves that top seat in the African Union. Now, you remember yesterday we had a conversation about the 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote debate that was started off by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Well, it looks like that move has not rubbed the people the right way, and quite a number of people have started having a conversation about that conversation. Rigathi Gachagua tried to revise the 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote debate, the highly favors county with high population, and like I said, seems to have rubbed a number of people, including those in his party, the wrong way. Among them, UDA Vice Chairman Hassan Omar Hassan, who has now asked the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to go slow on the push, saying it will bring disruption to the delivery of the Kenya Kwanza agenda. Speaking in Mombasa when he was unveiling some of his preferred UDA candidates who will vie for different leadership seats come June 22nd, Omar vowed to unite the region.
Na hii naisema with a lot of respect kwa Deputy President. Hii mambo ya 1 shilling, 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, 1 shilling. Wachana nayo. Hiyo itatuletea uhasama mkubwa sana ndani ya hii Kenya. Ajua ukitaka kuhesabu watu pia na 1 shilling, hizi wengine wako na karibu 20 million votes. Lakini nchi inaishi ina kitu inaitwa constitutional arrangement. Sisi ndio tulitetea hii katiba kuleta usawa wa kijamii, social justice. Yule aliyopoa kingi zamani sasa amwachie mwenzake na yeye pia apate. Hawa watu wamedhulumika miaka mingi. Kama mtoto wako ameishi vizuri, mtakie wa mwenzako pia mazuri. Jamii zetu kwa idadi kubwa hawana infrastructure, hawakwenda mashule. Sasa hivi wamepata fursa ya kila mtu kupelekwa shule, alipiwe fees full complement. Iko shida gani? Kuna wengine wako na utajiri mwingine, labda wanapata fees zaidi, lakini hakuna infrastructure. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaomba tuwe na uadilifu. Wakati rais ama makamu wa rais anataka kusema kitu, atushauri. Sisi pia tunawakilisha hizi jamii. Sasa mimi napigiwa simu na kila mtu, itakuwaje? Namwambia mkoe ngangare, hakuna kitu itakwenda vibaya. Lakini kila kati tuseme shares, sijui Mount Kenya, sijui 1 shilling, 1 vote, naleta ukabila.
Well, Omar's statement comes just days after CS Public Service Moses Kuria termed the DP's call insincere, claiming that everything the DP needed to make the same a reality was already in place. Kuria said, and I quote, "This is why I will not lie to the people of Mount Kenya region about 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. Our region has produced the sitting deputy president, 9 cabinet members, including the Attorney General, National Treasury and Secretary to the Cabinet, Majority Leader, Chair Budget and Chair Finance in the National Assembly, Deputy Speaker and Deputy Majority Leader in the Senate. What other powers would we be looking for? We are a government and we can implement 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling by Friday if we are serious. Let us be honest with our people." Now on Sunday, the Deputy President, while in church, told the congregation that he was in the front line of supporting the 1 man, 1 vote campaign.
Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is a believer and a proponent of 1 man, 1 vote, 1.
You know, it kind of feels like deja vu. We've started the campaign electioneering pretty early. I mean, we're not even halfway and we've started campaigning. I hope that, that this government will have time to focus on what they need to deliver to the people of Kenya, because if you look at the economy right now, things are not sitting pretty. And when you talk about the economy, the taxation regime has become so oppressive that quite a number of people are complaining. In fact, the debate on the controversial finance bill is gathering momentum, and members of different political parties are taking the debate to funerals and other public places. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, has now advised them to stop playing politics and do what they are supposed to do, instead of duping members of the public in the rallies. Wetangula says the noise the MPs are making will not change the law, as the only way to do that was on the floor of the House. Speaking at the funeral of a gentleman called Mzee Yohani Mamuli in Sanadiki village in Kabuchai constituency area in Bungoma County, Wetangula said that there are some MPs, especially from the opposition, who are already debating the bill outside the floor of the House.
Waomba wabunge wetu, nimemupa likizo ya mwezi moja. Sasa ni time ya budget. Na hiyo budget nyinyi ndio mnatunga katika makomiti, nyinyi ndio mnapitisha katika parliament. Tafadhali save the public the agony ya kuja kulia mbele ya wananchi kwamba finance bill ni mbaya, budget ni mbaya, na nyinyi ndio mnapitisha. Nyinyi mkae bunge na wenzenu, do the right things for the people of Kenya. Wananchi wanamtegemea kwa sababu walimchagua. Watu wamekufa, nyumba zao zimeanguka, serikali inajaribu kuwasaidia vile wezavyo. Sisi huko tuko high ground. The benefit ya mvua ni kupanda mahindi ya kutosha, mbolea ya bei rahisi iko ili tulishe Kenya. Wakulima wa kahawa, pesa imewekwa katika budget ya kufufua ukulima wa kahawa. Ninafurahi kiwanda yetu milling plant hapa Musese itafanya kazi. Get into coffee farming, mweke pesa kwa mfuko.
Well, you know, it's pretty interesting what he's saying, and mostly so the fact that, you know, politicians have been going to the barrios, ceremonies, and, you know, bringing all the campaigning. I remember I attended a barrio of a friend of mine the other day, and the better part of the barrio ceremony was political. And we even got to a place where we almost forgot that we had gone there to bury our friends because the politicians took almost an hour and a half telling us what they've been telling us all along. And then finally the church took over and we had a burial. So respect the burial ceremonies. Let's not talk politics unless the family allows you so. Well, with that, we got to go for a short break. As you can tell, I need to drink some water so that I can clear my throat. So Moses, let's take that break. When we come back, I'll tell you why some of the queues that you've been seeing at Nyayo House over passports may actually be coming to an end.
You are watching ABN TV, transforming your world. You are watching ABN TV, transforming your world.
Every Saturday from 8:30 a.m.
But we should not be afraid to interpret scripture.
Get to know the story behind the Bible. Why was it written? To whom was it written? And what was happening when it was written? Understand, get to know, learn how to properly interpret the scriptures so that you're not deceived.
In the book of Revelation, and we have started to enter into the happenings because these are things that are going to take place hereafter.
Join Pastor Felix Kevoy and his team as they go through the different books of the Bible and give you the theological interpretation of the same.
At the very introduction of the book of Revelation, the book lays clear what is contained in here.
Every Saturday from 8:30 a.m. on The Theology Show, only on EBN, transforming your world. EBN TV cares about the growth of your business. To advertise with us, call 0725 386 501 or 0740 653 453. EBN TV, transforming your world.
You are watching ABN TV, transforming your world.
back, as you can see, I have my cup of water. And as promised earlier, the long queues that we've been seeing or that have become synonymous with Nyayo House as Kenyans try to acquire passports may soon become a thing of the past if what Principal Secretary of the Department of Immigration Julius Bitok says is anything to go by. The PS says it will soon take 3 days for Kenyans to receive their passports after applying. Bitok says by the 1st of August this year, anyone applying for a passport will receive it in a shorter time than they are today. He says the ministry is looking for ways to make the process more efficient. He at the same time says that there is need for more cooperation between government institutions to obtain the objective.
In our service charter, it takes 14 days to get a passport. But we are saying, and we are reaffirming here, going forward with the 5.4 billion ANA, there is no reason why a Kenyan should not get a passport in 3 days. There is no reason, absolutely. We should be able to create a very efficient system. And I want to confirm to this committee that by 1st of August, we have actually agreed amongst ourselves together with the CS and everybody, by 1st of August, Kenyans should be able to get passports within 3 days of application. There should be no reason, absolutely, why they should not. With the resources, with the support of the committee, with the ANA, 3 days should be the time. In the number of offices we are opening, right now in the pipeline, we are opening Garissa office for immigration. Work is underway. We are expecting His Excellency to open. Towards the end of this month, on 31st, we are proposed to open Bungoma office. We are also opening Nyeri office. And soon we shall be having these offices. We are now having 8 offices. We are now going to 11. And we shall continue opening more offices.
Well, I long to see that day when, it will take you 3 days. You apply today, and the 3rd day you've already received your passport. I'll wait to see that day. Now, hardly a day after religious leaders call on the government to either burn or crack down on the consumption of miraa and mogoka, in the same way it's cracking down on alcohol abuse, the governors of Mombasa and Embu County have held an urgent meeting and agreed on the need to regulate the sale and consumption of mogoka, a variant of khat, to prevent children from using it. A move from Mombasa to introduce a raft of measures, including a proposed 2-fold increase on cess charges on mogoka trucks, made Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire lead a delegation of 10 MCAs from mogoka growing wards, traders and cooperative leaders to engage with Mombasa. The duo agreed to constitute a committee headed by the county government of Mombasa, 2 representatives of mogoka traders and 2 Mombasa MCAs to iron out contentious issues on mogoka trade and consumption.
Na msimamo wetu kama Mombasa Kwanza, hatuko katika jambo hili ili kuweza kufinya uchumi wa eneo lolote. Hatuko katika jambo hili ili kuweza kuumiza mtu yoyote ambaye kwamba mwenye kutaka kufanya biashara, lakini tuko katika hali ya kuwa ni lazima tuweze kuwastiri watoto wetu. Kila siku hatuwezi kuwa tunaangalia mavideo kuona ya kwa vijana wanabeba mapanga. Kila siku hatuwezi kuwa tunatiwa katika vyombo vya habari watoto wamepelekwa katika rehab centers tofauti, kisa na sababu kiwe ni mambo ya mogoka. Kuna barua itaenda kwa kampuni zote za basi na kampuni zote ambazo kwamba zenye kuleta mizigo, wafanye uamuzi kwa mujibu wa sheria. Waamue ikiwa wameamua wanataka kugeuza, hawataki tena kubeba abiria, wanataka kubeba miraa na mogoka, ni hiari yao, lakini watuambie ya kwa gari zao zinabeba miraa na mogoka. Lakini mambo ya kuficha miraa na mogoka kisha baada pale hatujui pahali ambapo kwamba inaenda, hatutokubali. Na ikishikwa hatua itakuwa kwa yule ambaye kwamba ni mwenye gari. Wa Embu ambao kwamba wenye kuuza mogoka, nimeomba County Assembly na sisi wenyewe kama serikali na Wameru, tumefanya mapping ya shule zetu zote, misikiti, makanisa madrasa na zile Sunday schools. Mita 100 kutoka maeneo yale. Fungeni maduka, kama mutaki kufunga maduka, yaacheni wazi, lakini muwe munauza mkate, sukari, chumvi, maziwa. Ikiwa umeamua unataka kuuza muguka na miraa, ni lazima iwe ni pahali ambapo kwamba serikali ya kaunti imekubaliana nayo.
Muguka, which is what we grow in Embu, and which is also a variety of the miraa, is a stimulant, which is also a scheduled cash crop in the regulations of Kenya. Also very cognizant on the need, which is a moral need, to protect our children from the consumption of these products. Because it's a stimulant, just like alcohol is, we must ensure that it is only consumed by adults who can be able to make reasonable and objective decisions.
Well, I'm not going to add any comment on that. I have my thoughts on the same about the consumption of this the stuff, because I was in Taita Taveta some time back, and as I was fueling, we decided we were going to buy some drinks, you know, sodas, water and stuff. And there's a young man who came and approached me and told me, hey, as you're buying that, I can sell you mogoka. And I told him I don't eat stuff that goats eat, and he was offended. And so I decided that I'll keep my words to myself, and my opinion to myself on the same. Now, this coming only hours after religious leaders had demanded a ban on the substance. Elsewhere, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, is still on the same. The Secretary General, Canon Chris Kinyanjui, has decried lack of commitment by major stakeholders in the fight against illicit brews and other outlawed substances in the country. Addressing religious leaders from member churches in the upper eastern counties of Marsabit, Isiolo, Meru, and Tharaka Nithi during their annual regional convention, Canon Kinyanjui noted that if indeed the government was committed to the cause, the menace would be effectively dealt with within a very short time.
I think we all know where the problem is. And we were having our conversation during tea, tukasema hii maneno ya pombe, serikali ikisema iishe, itaisha na siku moja. Kwa sababu wale watu ambao wana brewing is called what in Kiswahili? Wala wanagema, ni wagemaji. Wala wanagema hii pombe tunawajua. Kuna wale wanagema hapa polepole, hapa chini, but they are protected by our people who are in government and would like this protection to be taken away. Raia kama anatengeneza kitu muhimu, atengeneze. If it is something wrong, that license and that kiganda should be destroyed.
Well, with that, we got to bring down the curtains on the show. It's 1:30 the hour, and I thank God for keeping us company. Let's hope with the rains now that the Kenya Meteorological Department has given the areas that you need to be aware that heavy downpours are expected. Please take care. We don't want to lose any more lives. The regions are very plain, and I'll ask our director Moses to put, as we bring the curtains down on the show, to have the graphics on the areas that will be affected by the rain. Maybe I can take that and take you through those regions, so that if you live within these areas, you will take a lot of care so that you don't end up being swept away by the floods. Moses, if you don't mind, you can play the graphics on the rain. This is the advisory. The weatherman stated that the rainfall was expected in various regions, including the Central Highlands, which encompass Nairobi County. So that means we need to be careful in Nairobi and other regions that are expected to receive rainfall. The areas are there: Central Highlands, Nairobi County, Western Kenya, and Northwestern Lake Victoria Basin and Rift Valley regions are going to receive a lot of rain. So if you're in parts of Machakos and Kajiado County, sporadic showers I expected. And you know, this sporadic is what actually brings down what you can call flash floods, because some areas will be raining and you know, you're standing at a place where you're not expecting it to rain or floods to come, and you experience flash floods. So please brace for this and take care. Make sure when you see large water bodies on the road and fast flowing water, keep away, save your life. You'd rather get home late than never. To have your